HighBridge, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Art of Social Media, Power Tips for Power Users, by Guy Kawasaki and Peg Fitzpatrick. Read by Amanda Ronconi. Listen to this first. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The purpose of this book is to enable you to rock social media. We assume that you are familiar with the basics and that you want to use social media for business, either for yourself or for an organization. To make our perspective clear, Peg and I are in the trenches of social media, not in a war room back at headquarters. We acquired our knowledge through experimentation and diligence, not pontification, sophistry, and conference attendance. Still, do not take our word as gospel. These are our tips, tricks, and insights, and we hope they work for you. In a perfect world, however, you would develop better techniques than ours, and you'd tell us how to improve our game, too. Finally, let me explain the voice of this book. It combines our knowledge, but just one of us, Guy, wrote it. Because multiple voices are tiresome, and we are all about making everything invigorating, fast, and easy. Guy Kawasaki, Peg Fitzpatrick, July 2014. 1. How to optimize your profile. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. Theodore Roosevelt. Let's start with the basics. All social media platforms provide a profile page for you to explain who you are. This is for biographical information and images. An effective profile is vital because people use it to make a snap judgment about your account. The goal of a profile is to convince people to pay attention to your social media activities. Essentially, it is a resume for the entire world to see and judge. This chapter explains how to optimize your profile to maximize its effectiveness. 1. Pick a neutral screen name. Before we work on your profile, let's pick a good screen name. Today's clever name, such as @MartiniMom or @HatTrickHank, is tomorrow's regret. And you're not going to work for the same company forever, so @GuyMacEvangelist is risky too. Imagine it's 2 years from now and you're looking for a job. Now pick a screen name. You probably already have a screen name, but the longer you use a lousy one, the harder it will be to change later, and the more negative effects it will cause. Our recommendation is that you use a simple and logical screen name. In my case, that's Guy Kawasaki, not G Kawasaki or GT Kawasaki or G.T. Kawasaki. This is not the place for cleverness or complexity, so make it easy for people to find and remember you. 2. Optimize for 5 seconds. People do not study profiles. They spend a few seconds looking and make a snap decision. If this were online dating, think Tinder. Swipe right for yes, swipe left for no. Versus eHarmony. Complete the relationship questionnaire. Your profile should give the impression that you are likable, trustworthy, and competent. Platforms provide space for this information. Avatar. This is a small circular or square picture of you or your logo. Cover. Google+, Facebook, and LinkedIn, or header, Twitter. This picture is the largest graphic element in a profile and visually tells your story. Biographical text. This is a summary of your education and work experience. Links. This is a list of links to your blog, website, and other social media accounts. 3. Focus your avatar on your face. A good avatar does 2 things. First, it validates who you are by providing a picture, so people can see which Guy Kawasaki you are. God help us if there is more than one. Second, it supports the narrative that you're likable, trustworthy, and competent. Your face provides the most data about what kind of person you are. Thus, your avatar shouldn't show your family, friends, dog, or car because there isn't room. This also means you should not use a logo or graphic design unless the avatar is for an organization. Here are 3 additional avatar tips. Go asymmetrical. Symmetry makes a picture less interesting, so don't stick your face exactly in the middle. Divide a picture into thirds and place your eyes near one of the vertical lines. Face the light. The source of light should come from in front of you. If light comes from behind you, your face will probably be underexposed, unless you force a fill flash on your camera or use a photo editor. Think big. When people scan posts and comments, they see your avatar at a postage stamp size. When they click on it, however, they should see a big, crisp photo. So upload a picture that is at least 600 pixels wide. 4. Stick with one picture. If companies used different logos in different places, mass confusion would reign. Your picture is your social media logo, so use the same one everywhere. This will help people recognize you on social media platforms and reduce questions about whether, for example, @Guy Kawasaki on Twitter is plus Guy Kawasaki on Google+. 5. Craft a mantra. Most platforms enable you to add a tagline to your profile. Make this a mantra, 2 to 4 words that explain why you or your organization exists. For example, my mantra is, I empower people. Here are 4 theoretical mantras for companies. Nike, authentic athletic performance. FedEx, peace of mind. Google, democratizing information. Canva, democratizing design. Finally, for the sake of consistency, ensure that your tagline/mantra is the same on every service. About. Chief Evangelist of Canva. I empower people. Biography. Guy Kawasaki is the Chief Evangelist of Canva, an online graphic design tool. Formerly, he was an advisor to the Motorola business unit of Google and Chief Evangelist of Apple. He is also the author of Ape, Author, Publisher, Entrepreneur, How to Publish a Book, What the Plus, Google Plus for the Rest of Us, and Enchantment, The Art of Changing Hearts, Minds, and Actions. Kawasaki has a BA from Stanford University and an MBA from UCLA, as well as an honorary doctorate from Babson College. http://www.guykawasaki.com/enchantment/pictures/. If you're interested in having me speak at an event, please contact Keynote Speakers at info@keynotespeakers.com or call 650-325-8711. Description. I share enchanting stuff, all the time, in large quantities. The topics that I focus on are self-publishing, marketing, enchantment, social media, entrepreneurship, innovation, venture capital, science, and photography. I publish approximately 5 to 10 posts per day. 6. Tell your story. In addition to an avatar, platforms permit a second, larger photo called a cover, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn, or a header, Twitter. Its purpose is to tell a story and communicate information about what's important to you. This is where you can show a photo of your family, dog, car, product, or passion. Platforms change the optimal dimensions of avatars and cover/header photos all the time, so we monitor what the platforms do and regularly update in a blog post called Quick Tips for Great Social Media Graphics. Refer back to it whenever you want to know what's optimal. The cover is also a place where you can blow your social media credibility by not changing the default design that platforms provide. If you don't add a custom photo, you are screaming that you are clueless about social media. There's an entire chapter about cluelessness coming up. You can have more fun and display more creativity with your cover photo than with your avatar. You can also change it more often. With my cover photo, I'm trying to tell a story that I am significant enough to make speeches. 7. Get a vanity URL. You can get a vanity URL from your Google+, Facebook, or LinkedIn account. That means people will see this kind of link. https://plus.google.com/+Guy Kawasaki/posts. If you don't get a vanity URL, people will see this kind of link, which is much harder to remember. https://plus.google.com/+112374836634096795698 posts. You can easily find instructions for Google+, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Like domain names, it's too late to get many vanity URLs, but almost anything is better than 21 random numbers. Also, coming up with a vanity URL is a good test of your cleverness, so an inability or unwillingness to do so impugns your intellectual prowess. 8. Finish the job. People will make a snap decision based on your avatar, tagline, and cover/header photo, and will subsequently follow, learn more about, or ignore you. If they decide to follow or learn more, they will read the rest of your profile. That is why you need to complete your profile. Google+, for example, enables you to provide introductory text, contact information, and links. 9. Go Pro. Everyone and everything on Facebook has an account. Each account has a personal timeline, and it can also manage pages. Your personal timeline can have up to 5,000 friends and unlimited followers who can see your public posts. Pages can have unlimited likes, and they support more types of ads. Google+ has similar conventions. Profiles are for individuals, and pages are for commercial entities, celebrities, and artists. If you're going to use social media for business, you have no choice but to use a page on both platforms. For example, Facebook's terms of service warn that using a personal timeline for business, as opposed to a page, can result in closure of your account. Fortunately, Facebook enables you to convert a personal timeline to a page. You can also convert a page back to a personal timeline should you change your mind. Google+ enables you to create a new page from an account, but not to convert a profile to a page without an act of God. Generally speaking, you should go pro with a page if you're using social media for business, because of added capabilities such as multiple administrators and extensive analytics. For Google+ in particular, sharing posts with external services such as Buffer, Sprout Social, and Hootsuite is much, much, much better with a page. 10. Go anonymous. When you're happy with your profile, our final recommendation is that you view it in an incognito window. This is a browser window that hides your identity. Viewing your profile this way means that you will see it the way other people do. To get an incognito window in Chrome, launch New Incognito Window from the File menu. There's a way to do this in every browser. Search Google for Anonymous plus your browser name to find out how. 2. How to feed the content monster. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who can't read them. Mark Twain. The biggest daily challenge of social media is finding enough content to share. We call this feeding the content monster. There are two ways to do this: content creation and content curation. Content creation involves writing long posts, taking pictures, or making videos. Our experience is that it's difficult to create more than 2 pieces of content per week on a sustained basis, and 2 pieces are not enough for social media. Helping you master content creation is outside the scope of this book. Content curation involves finding other people's good stuff, summarizing it, and sharing it. Curation is a win-win-win. You need content to share. Blogs and websites need more traffic, and people need filters to reduce the flow of information. Helping you feed, indeed satiate, the content monster is the purpose of this chapter. 11. Make a plan. I'm not a believer in planning if you define planning as spending 6 months cogitating on or hiring an agency to map out and achieve strategic goals. However, most people need a tactical, logical, and cogent plan to support what they want to accomplish with social media. The gist of planning for social media and all content marketing is simple. 1. Figure out how to make money. 2. Figure out what kind of people you need to attract to make money. 3. Figure out what those people want to read, which is probably different from what you want them to read. 12. Use an editorial calendar. I'm not a believer in calendaring because I subscribe to this spray and pray theory of social media. That is, throw out a lot of stuff and hope something works. I only need to know when Peg needs content, as Jack Bauer only needs to know when he has to get the bad guys in 24 hours. Peg, on the other hand, is a planner, to the point of being obsessive-compulsive. She uses an editorial calendar to help manage blog posts and their accompanying social media promotion. She also uses it to manage Google+, Facebook, and LinkedIn posts. According to Peg, several tools can help you manage an editorial calendar. Excel. You can use this old standby product to store draft posts according to the date of publication. Google Docs. The strength of Google Docs for social media calendaring is that you can collaborate with team members in real time, and everyone can access the calendar from many devices. This eliminates the need for back and forth emailing and also reduces the likelihood of changes getting lost. HubSpot Editorial Calendar. This is an Excel template that was designed for a team to calendar social media activities. The HubSpot Editorial Calendar can act as a guide to brainstorm ideas for your blog, monitor the content, and track the progress of your writers. You can add keywords, themes, and calls to action for each post. You cannot, however, share from the HubSpot editorial calendar because it's an Excel template. Buffer, Sprout Social, and Hootsuite. All three of these services provide calendaring functionality that's oriented towards sharing posts. Buffer is a scheduling-only platform, so you can't monitor your posts for activity. Sprout Social and Hootsuite allow you to schedule and monitor your social media, as well as to comment and respond. Disclosure, I advise Buffer. Stress Limit. This WordPress plugin enables you to plan your blog content and review what's scheduled for the future. 13. Pass the reshare test. It's nice when people like and +1 your posts. It's swell when people comment. These actions are akin to tipping a waiter or waitress. However, resharing your posts is the ultimate compliment, because it means that people are risking their reputations on what you've written. This is akin to recommending that your friends eat at a restaurant as opposed to simply leaving a tip. Resharing is caring. You heard it here first. The key test for the art and science of social media is this. Will people reshare my post? Every time you share something, it should pass this test. Resharing, not imitation, is the sincerest form of flattery on social media. 14. Reshare your pals' posts. Theoretically, you follow people because of the quality of what they share. Therefore, it makes sense to watch what they share, cherry-pick the best stuff, and share it too. If you don't reshare much of their stuff, it means you're following the wrong people. 15. Piggyback on curation and aggregation services. Many services provide good content, using techniques that range from manual curation to black magic. These are our favorite sources. Alltop. Alltop is an aggregation of topics ranging from A, adoption, to Z, zoology. Alltop researchers select RSS feeds from thousands of websites and blogs and organize them into more than 1,000 topics. For example, there's food, photography, Macintosh, travel, and adoption. You can personalize Alltop by creating a customized collection of RSS feeds. I have a personalized Alltop collection of sites. I use it almost every day to find content. You're welcome to use it too. Disclosure, I am one of the co-founders of Alltop. The Big Picture and In Focus. These sites represent Alan Taylor's vision of how to create photo essays about current events. He started with The Big Picture as an online feature for the Boston Globe and then moved to In Focus at The Atlantic. The contents of both sites is always top-notch. Buffer. Buffer enables you to schedule posts to Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. It also suggests stories to share. Feedly. Feedly is an RSS feed aggregator that collects information from blogs and websites and presents it in a magazine format. Flipboard is a similar product. Futurity. The basis for many stories in mainstream news is press releases from universities. Futurity enables you to scoop the press because it publishes research findings from a consortium of universities. An easy way to access Futurity is to use futurity.alltop. Google Scholar. I got this tip from Belle Beth Cooper, a talented social media blogger. She searches for topics using Google Scholar, a subset of the Google search engine, to find serious academic treatment of topics. Holy Cow. Holy Cow is part of the Alltop website. Several very good curators look for human interest stories that make people say, "Holy cow." HolyCow.com was taken, but since Kawasaki is pronounced Kawasaki, I thought Holy K-A-W would work. You can find something worth sharing every day on Holy Cow. Clout. Clout measures the strength of people's reputations based on their social media power. In 2014, it repositioned itself to help people create and share great content. It does this by suggesting stories that people can share. LinkedIn influencers and Pulse. The LinkedIn Influencer program comprises several hundred leaders who share high-quality, long-form posts. This program is now closed to new applicants, but it's worth following participants for their content. LinkedIn Pulse provides curated business content. There's also a LinkedIn Pulse app for iOS and Android. You can follow specific channels on LinkedIn, LinkedIn influencers, and other websites. NPR. National Public Radio, NPR, delivers great content every day, remarkably so. My favorite shows are Tech Nation, Fresh Air, and Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. You can always find something on NPR that's worth sharing, unless you believe that climate change is a myth, women shouldn't have equal rights, and everyone needs an automatic weapon. NPR.alltop is a handy way to access NPR. Reddit. Reddit bills itself as the front page of the internet. People vote for stories, and the site displays the most popular ones on its homepage. There are also subreddits for specific topics, such as gaming, news, and movies, so that you can find popular stories in narrower subjects. The content skews toward a male, tech-oriented audience. SmartBrief. SmartBrief curates high-quality content for trade associations. And since there is a trade association for almost every industry, it covers many topics. It's easy to tap into SmartBrief's content because it publishes summaries of its curation. For example, to find stories about social media, use the Social Media SmartBrief page. StumbleUpon. StumbleUpon is a community of people who stumble upon and rate the quality of websites. This action enters the pages into the StumbleUpon system for the rest of the community to access. StumbleUpon categorizes websites, so members can select from topics such as gadgets, design, and sports. TED. TED produces some of the most intellectually stimulating videos in the world. Its 18-minute limit forces speakers to get to the point. The expansion of TED to local and regional conferences has made this source even richer. You can subscribe to the TED YouTube and TEDx YouTube channels to receive notifications of new videos and stay ahead of most people. 16. Share what's already popular. This may feel like cheating, but it helps feed the content monster. There are many ways to discover what's already popular and to share these stories. For example, something that's trending on StumbleUpon might not have hit Google Plus yet. Don't worry about sharing something that everyone has already seen, because there are billions of people and millions of stories. Reliance on this technique can dull your personal voice and perspective, however, so don't allow it to dominate your curation. Here are 5 sources that work for us. Mostpopular.alltop. Most-popular.alltop aggregates the most popular and most emailed stories from sources such as the New York Times, the BBC, CBS, NPR, and the Los Angeles Times. I created this Alltop topic because I found myself tapping the wisdom of the crowd and sharing the most popular and most emailed stories that people selected. What's hot on Google? What's Hot tracks the most popular posts on Google+. The good news/bad news is that this feed appears to be customized for individuals. Thus, you might want to read the stories in What's Hot, but not necessarily want to share them. Also, while we're on Google, there's Google Trends, which displays what types of information people are searching for around the world. You can specify the country and create personalized subscriptions for topics of interest. Trending topics on Facebook. The right side of your newsfeed in Facebook contains an area called Trending. This is also a useful source for stories to share. Popular pins on Pinterest. You can spot current trends and hot stories by looking at the popular pins on Pinterest. The content here tends toward fashion and food. This is Peg's go-to site for her personal accounts. Pinterest's guided search provides interesting content by progressively refining your search. Try the same search in Google and you'll find that the results are not as interesting. Evergreen topics. There are some topics that are almost always popular. I don't mean funny cats and cute puppies, but ones that are a skosh more substantive and cerebral. Here's a list of a few of them. Coffee, George Takei, Lego, NASA, hat tip Wayne Brett, Star Trek, hat tip Danielle M. Villegas, Star Wars, hat tip Mike Alton. You shouldn't make these types of posts the core of your curation, but adding something fun a few times a week will make your account more interesting to follow. Note, we use hat tip throughout the book to give credit to our sources. Sometimes Peg uses tiara tip as a variation in her posts. 17. Use lists, circles, communities, and groups. People and organizations that share a common interest comprise lists, Twitter and Facebook, circles, Google+, communities, Google+, and groups, Facebook and LinkedIn. These groupings are a powerful way to tap into good content. Twitter lists. A Twitter list is a grouping of Twitter accounts, usually by shared interest or expertise. To find more topics, search for Twitter lists. You can also create your own. There are public and private Twitter lists. Use a public list if you want to find interesting users for a topic such as blogging, tech news, or entrepreneurship. Use a private list, accessible only to the creator, to track, for example, what competitors are doing and what people are saying about them. Facebook lists. You can build lists of Facebook people and organizations who share your interests, and also follow other people's lists. You don't have to like a page or follow a person to put the page or person on one of your lists. To find lists to use, go to your interests page and click on Add Interests at the top of the page. Google+ Circles. In Google+, people create circles as a way to organize their contacts. Thomas Hawk, a very popular photographer on Google+, curated a circle of photographers. You can search for Google+ circles and then use them to find people to add to your circles. Google+ communities. People interact on a peer-to-peer basis in Google+ communities. There are public and private, controlled admittance communities. For example, I started a mobile device community when I was advising Motorola. You can search for communities, and you can also set up a community. Facebook and LinkedIn groups. There are two kinds of groups, public and private. Anyone can join a public group and view the content. A private group is by invitation only, and only members can see the content. LinkedIn groups are for networking and connecting with professionals in the same industry. And Facebook groups run the gamut of personal topics such as high school reunion groups, colleges hosting incoming groups of freshmen, and fan groups to discuss common interests. Google+ Search. You would expect that a social media platform from Google would have powerful search capabilities. And you'd be right. Google+ allows you to search by keyword and will display people, pages, and communities that match your search. In the following example, I searched on Fujifilm X100S and clicked on the Communities tab to find the relevant communities. Even if you do not use Google+, you can tap Google+ circles and communities as curation sources.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?